ben Yehuda, and Rabbi Eliakim from Ashpira. There was a Rabbi Eliakim who was the rabbi of Ashpira, Spire, and he went to study by these three rabbis. So Rashi, now interestingly enough, but he just got married. So he did what we would say a little bit of a Rabbi Akiva in a way. And Rabbi Akiva, the great story of the sage Rabbi Akiva, again, this is not recommended practice for me or you, or any man married to any woman in the 21st century. But Rabbi Akiva, he got married, and his wife said, I want you to go learn Torah, I want to go. So his wife sent him away. He went away to learn for 12 years. He came back, he overheard his wife saying, to the neighbor, I wish he would go learn for another 12 years. So he went back. Anyway, my wife never said that to me. Anyway, she sometimes said, I wish you'd go for another. But anyway, but she never, not in preference to learning. Anyway, but the point is, that was a joke. Okay, anyway, but the point is that, Rashi also, he used to come back every Yom Tov. Every Yom Tov he would come back. And he would, spend time. But, and I guess that's something his wife wanted him to do. He was an outstanding scholar. And he was, a very humble, outstanding scholar. And his wife was happy with him doing that. And that's what he did. Now, Rashi, so he spent many, many, many years studying there. After that, we'll see what happens after that. I just wanted to show you that you can see where Mainz is here. I don't have any of the others. Some of the others are further up north, and Rashi was somewhere down here. This is where his hometown was. Around here is Troyes, is somewhere around here. And so Rashi traveled across to Mainz and to some of the other cities to learn in Germany. Germany was the was really the peak of Torah study from the great early scholars. Later on, it's interesting, the great Torah scholars really transferred to France, and I'll explain to you, Rashi had a lot to do with that. But really, it started off really in Germany along the Rhine River. Now, what did Rashi do after that? He returned to Troyes after many years of study and built a great yeshiva. Now Rashi, what rabbinic position did he have? Zero. He wasn't the rabbi of this shul or the rabbi of this thing. He was a general rabbi of the Jewish people. Now, we'll talk about that a lot, but he returned to Troyes and he built a yeshiva, a place where other students would come and study, where he could train the next generation of rabbis. The other thing is, very importantly, he was considered the greatest sage and halachic authority of the generation. So one needs to understand, when someone got a name to be the greatest halachic personality, all the difficult questions, it was like, you've probably heard of Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, Rabbi Moses Feinstein. He was considered the greatest halachic authority in America at the time, and before him Rabbi Henkin. So any really complicated and difficult halachic issue, whether it be Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, from artificial insemination to whatever it was, could you marry this one, could you marry that one, could you do this, could you do that, all the complicated questions would go to the greatest authority. And that was Rashi. And so there's many responses. We have about 300 responses actually that came from Rashi, left still in existence, letters that he wrote. Now, what was Rashi's greatness? Now this is very important. Rabbi Yitzchak Halevi wrote to Rashi, and this is something that really made a big impression on me as I was going through today. It's really, I think, the message, what Rashi was. Rabbi Yitzchak Halevi wrote, he was one of the teachers of Rashi. Okay? He was the rabbi in words. And he wrote to Rashi, the nation is not orphaned because you dwell in their midst. The Jewish people, the Jewish nation, are not orphaned. Why? Why are they not considered an orphaned nation? Because you dwell in their midst. There should be many like you in Israel. I remember my Rosh Hashiva used to tell me, his Rosh Hashiva was Rabbi Mordechai Gifter. So my Rosh Hashiva used to always tell me that Rabbi Gifter used to tell him that our generation is like an orphan generation. After the Shoah, after the Holocaust, when we lost so many great people, we like an orphan generation. So he was writing to him and he said, the nation is not orphaned because it dwells in this. There should be many like you in Israel. Now, we'll see the significance of this statement. What was Rashi's greatness? Now, when we spoke about the the Rambam had a very unsettling life. Remember when he was bar mitzvah, he left town, he had to travel, he was on the road for 10 years. Then he went, all of a sudden he was in Fez in Morocco. Then he had to leave Morocco, he had to go to Egypt. Then in Egypt he lost his brother and his father, and he got sick. So the Rambam had a very tumultuous life, and also mostly actually post his life was considered quite controversial. Rashi has none of the controversy around him. He's a great scholar, but he had two great attributes, and this is what I want to mention. There's a dispute in the Talmud, what's greater? There's two different types of scholars. There's one scholar that's called the Sinai. Sinai means Sinai. Why is he called a Sinai? A Sinai is someone who has all the information, who has a great broad knowledge. You know, you have some people that have a broad general knowledge, but they haven't got in-depth knowledge into one subject. It's the same in the Talmud, in Torah thought. You have some people that have got a lot of broad principles. In other words, they have great broadness. You have some people that know the whole Talmud, but they're not experts in taking one issue and really sinking to the depth of it. They're two different skills. The one skill is called Sinai. Sinai is the ability to have a broad breadth of knowledge. Oker Harim, the sages use the expression Oker Harim. Oker Harim in Hebrew means to uproot mountains. The guy who can uproot mountains is the guy that can, his drill goes all the way to the bottom. He can uproot the mountain. Means that a person has a lot of depth in understanding and can take a particular issue. Actually, the Chazon Ish used to say that a real Talmid Chacham, a real great Torah sage, is someone who's got both. He used to say it's someone who could learn 40 pages of the Talmud in one day and 1 page in 40 days. That's a great sage. Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
40 pages in 1 day and 1 page in 40 days. You have to have both abilities. It's the depth and the breadth. Rashi was a master of both. He absorbed every aspect of the oral law and Jewish tradition in both breadth and depth. I believe in many ways it's safe to say that Rashi saved, to a great degree, the tradition of the Jewish people coming all the way back from Babylon. He, in my opinion, like we listed in Pirkei Avot, this one taught this one, and this one taught this one, and Moshe Rabbeinu taught Joshua, and he taught the elders, and then he came back to Shema and Avtalyon, and Hillel and Shammai, and all through. Rashi was key in our tradition. Not only that, but Rashi is accepted, we'll see in a moment, by the breadth of the Torah community. The only thing that no one can argue about, no one says, I don't accept Rashi. I don't accept the opinions of the Rambam on this, I don't accept this, I don't accept this. Rashi was universally accepted, and Rashi had this ability of both to pierce the depth of something, and so therefore he really was a unique individual. But what's unique about him was not just that he did that. The fact that you could absorb all that is one thing. I want to show you. So he absorbed all that, but even that is not what makes him unique.